So y'all, I want to read y'all an excerpt from my book Roll the Dice. It is a Sapphic Strip Club series. This is season 1, and I want to read an excerpt about my girl Trix. She know how to work that pole. She all about her money, and she's also a dominatrix. And so every now and then her subs show up to the club. And so I'm gonna be reading from the main character's point of view, Dice. And she and her girlfriend are leaving the club, and then they end up witnessing something. So here we go. We exchanged goodbyes, then Kimi and I made our way towards the entrance to head out. Unexpectedly, we heard loud laughter coming from the front door. "What is going on?" Kimi said, raising her eyebrows. "Thought they'd be gone by now." "Hey, yo!" E laughed, nudging me in the shoulder as we came out the door. "Look at this shit." I followed her gaze and spotted a muscular man on all fours outside the club, wearing nothing but boxers. He wore a black leather dog mask that covered his face with a matching choker chain leash secured around his neck. "This has Trix written all over it," I smirked, unsurprised. Before I knew it, she came barging through the door, pushing past me with Jody close behind. "Gerald!" she shouted, her heels clicking against the pavement as she marched towards him. "What'd I tell you about showing up to my place of work?" Trix stood in the grass, hands on her hips and her LV tote slung over her shoulder. Without a word from him, he lowered his head as she pressed her black pump onto his back. "Seeing that you can't follow the rules," she said, full of disdain, "I think you deserve a punishment for tonight." "Yes," he mumbled under his breath, face pressed deep in the dirt. "Yes, what?" Trix raised her voice, digging her heel deeper into his back. "Is he all right?" Kimi whispered, concern flickering her eyes. "Yeah," I chuckled as the scene played out. "This is some normal shit. She's a dom." Kimi's mouth dropped. I'm surprised she hasn't seen Trix in action since she started at Drip. So Drip is the club. Most of the Trix's clients come from the club, but rarely do they show up like this. She was telling me just the other day about how she can't stand when her subs show up unannounced because they can't stay away. So whatever she was going to do to him tonight, I'm sure it was going to be worth her while. We all watched as Trix stayed fully in character. She was a bad at this shit for sure. "You hear me, Gerald?" "Yes, what?" He looked up at her with gentle eyes. "Yes, Miss Trix. I'm starting to think you love pissing me off." She pulled her heel off his back and snapped sharply as he sat up straight. Trix reached down and grabbed his leash. "Now worship me and apologize." She stood over him, looking down past her nose as she waited for his response. "Yes, Miss Trix." He leaned over and began placing kisses on her feet. "Yes, Miss Trix, what?" She tilted her head silently, prompting him to continue. "Yes, Miss Trix," he said in between each kiss applied to her feet. "I'm sorry. I've been such a bad boy. Now come." She yanked his leash, signaling for him to follow. Trix winked and flicked her hand in the air. "See y'all hoes tomorrow." We nodded as she strolled towards the car, Gerald trailing behind on all fours. That's my bitch. If you want to read this book, it's available now on Amazon. Link in my bio. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow with more.